And as I always ask you, if you like this reading, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you would like to. I don't mind. You do whatever you like. I really don't mind. And I'm going to start your reading right now for Gemini. I'm just going to get right into this. So the first card you have for your past is the Six of Swords. Right, so I'm seeing a few things in this card. Obviously, this is about getting away from something or someone or a bad situation. I think you really did get away from someone. This is obviously an axe. And yeah, I'm seeing negative words, maybe even abusive language. So I can see why you really, really wanted to get away from this person. You know, I think you accepted it a few times, not accepted it, but I think you just kind of put up with it for a while and then things just piled up and it was just too much. That was it. And you left. That's what I'm seeing. I think there also might have been some people around this that took some sides, maybe their family or your family or even both. And I'm seeing you really wanting to move on from all of that as well, because there's drama surrounding this as well, or there might still be. Yeah, I'm seeing some people trying to sort of insert themselves into the situation and, you know, maybe asking you questions, asking one side about the other side and the other side about the other side. And I think even though you left this person and, you know, there's still some kind of a link to them. I think you still do have some kind of a link to this person. Not in love, you're not interested in them at all in that way. But there's something that needs to be resolved between you. And it's some kind of practical thing that needs to be resolved. And I think it might be that these people were asking you about that, you know, because I'm kind of seeing them asking, oh, have you finished that yet? Have you talked to them about that yet? Is that finished? How's this going? How are you going with that? You know, all of that kind of thing. So it was really, you know, some people really do want to ask you because they care about you. But I think in this case, not everyone, but there were some people around this who might have been asking you for some kind of, just because they wanted a little bit of gossip or drama, not because they actually want to help you. So, you know, I don't think everyone was, but I think there was some. I think there were some people who were probably a little bit nosy, like a bit of a talk about this. So, you know, if there are some, because I think they might be relatives, if there are some older relatives who are still kind of asking you all these questions and you just don't want to go there, you just don't want to talk about this, you know, but if they're older and you want to show respect for them, just give them, you know, kind of a polite but maybe reserved answer, maybe something like, oh, thank you for asking, everything's fine now, you know, something vague like that maybe. If they're not older relatives and they're just nosy people, well, I won't tell you what to say to them. You can imagine what I'd like to say to them. So the next card you have for your past is the Knight of Wands. Yeah, here's this person who you left again. Here's this ex. And I don't mean for them to keep on coming up in your readings, but you do have this unresolved issue with them. And that's probably why I keep on seeing them here again. I've seen them in your past readings. I know, I can't help it. This is just why, because you have this kind of unfinished thing with them. Yeah, I think this person who you left, this ex, probably came in and out a few times. And they're very erratic. This is what I'm seeing, like this night. They're very kind of erratic. They're in and out. They jump in and out. You can't get a hold of them. I think you might have been trying to ask them some questions, get them to answer some of these questions. And these were practical questions. These are things that you needed to know, you needed to find out. And it shouldn't have been a problem for them to be able to answer these questions for you. But for some reason, they were still acting in this kind of erratic way. You just couldn't rely on them. You never knew what they were going to do, when they were going to answer you, if they were going to answer you, where they were. And I'm seeing a few other things around this too, I think, and it's kind of juxtaposed with what I'm seeing, because it's this kind of, you know, I'm seeing one thing against the other thing. That's what I'm trying to say, juxtaposed. So what I'm seeing is you're looking at all of this and you're getting annoyed with them not answering your questions, not being around, you know, and all of that, and driving you crazy like that. And also you might also be looking a little bit on social media, not stalking them, just looking at what's going on. And you're seeing they're around on that as well. And they're there talking to all sorts of people on there, answering all their questions, but they're not answering your question. So that's kind of frustrating you as well. And if this is all resonating, you're still going through this with them, maybe try to go through a third party if you can. Have someone kind of in the middle, kind of mediating, or talk to someone who's a you know, a friend of theirs who's also a friend of yours, or some kind of relative you can trust that doesn't mind going between you. Maybe talk through someone else, because this is really, really frustrating you, and that might kind of alleviate some of that frustration. I think you already might be you already might have some communication that goes through a third party, maybe. So, you know, if that resonates, and if you do, try to up that, try and have more communication going through this other person if you can do that. So the last card you have your past is the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, so again, it's interesting because again, I'm seeing this kind of social media connection on this. I think you might be looking at them on there, not stalking them, but I think what I'm seeing is you're trying to get them, or you were trying to get them to answer your questions. They weren't doing that. So you're looking on social media, seeing if they're on there, and they were, of course. They're talking to everyone else except for you. And so while you're on there, I think what was happening was you're looking at this and you're seeing them kind of looking as if they're having the most fantastic time on earth. You know, they're probably, you know, with other people having a party and laughing and showing all these amazing things they're doing. They might even be in a new relationship as well. And, you know, they're probably all over social media, letting everyone know how fantastic that is. I really do think a lot of this is sort of showing off, and I think it's for your benefit, actually. It's to make you think that their life's absolutely wonderful. It's for other people as well, but I think some of it is for you. Now, what I'm actually seeing is that what's happening on there in the reality is a little bit different, actually. The reality is quite sad. It's actually a little bit more like what's going on in this card. I think they are with someone, but there is a lot of disappointment there. Now, I think one of the people in this relationship left at one time. I can't see if it's them or if it's the other person. And then they reconciled. But I think there is still a lot of disappointments on both sides. And I think what you're seeing on social media isn't reflecting the reality. And this might sound a bit strange. It's, you know, it probably sounds like I'm a stalker or I'm encouraging you to stalk them. I'm not doing that, but this is what I'm seeing. I'll tell you what I'm seeing. The pictures and what they show say one thing, but the words around the pictures and the words under the pictures are more of a clue to what's really happening. And it's quite subtle. Some of the words they're using are very, very carefully chosen. You know, it might be something like they're talking about their the person they're in a relationship with, and they're saying something to them under a picture. Not exactly this, but it's something like, you know, instead of saying, "I love you," they might say something like, "Oh, you're so sweet and kind to me." So, you know, they're both positive statements, but there's a big difference between those two, if you see what I mean. So, yeah, I think that's going to be the telling thing, the words that they say around the pictures. But, you know, I'm not encouraging you to stalk, so please don't think I am. I'm not. But that's just what I'm seeing in that. So the first card you have for your present is the Ten of Cups. Beautiful, beautiful card. So this is fantastic. I think, you know, the rest of your life's going really, really well. It's just this ex and this kind of annoying, not answering your questions and this kind of drama around this that's kind of bringing you down. Apart from that, I think things would be fantastic for you. I I'm seeing family members that you've been talking to, or you are talking to at this time. You're really close to some of these people. You love talking to them. You like to unburden all of this on them as well, and they don't mind. I think you might actually be in a relationship yourself, or you might be starting to be in a relationship yourself. I think this person might be a little bit more enthusiastic, or a little bit more, not unrealistic, but idealistic maybe about this. You know, I don't think you're unhappy with them. I think you're happy with them. I think, again, it's probably early days. Maybe it is. But I think you're a little bit wary about, well, not wary, but you're a little bit realistic in your view about relationships and early relationships. Because I think this other ex, or this ex, I think when they started off with you, they might have been very fast and all rose-colored glasses and everything's amazing. And so you're a little bit... you're like, well, let's not get too carried away in the beginning. Let's kind of take things a bit slower and see how things go. That's what I'm seeing, that you're just a little bit more realistic than this person. I hope that makes sense. The other thing I'm seeing in this is some kind of visit or some kind of journey to see family. And I keep on seeing blending in that, with this beautiful rainbow and this blending of colours. So it might be that there's an invitation to visit their family, their extended family maybe. And I think if this is resonating and you are going to visit their extended family, this is going to go really well for you. I'm seeing that you're going to blend in with their family really well. That's what I'm seeing with that card. So the next card you have for your present is the Two of Cups. So yeah, this new person I'm seeing around you, I don't know how new they are, but they're newer than the other person. That's why I'm saying new person. I'm seeing a lot of really interesting conversations happening between you. And the big thing about them is that's very different from your ex, and also very different from a lot of other people you've had around you, even friends, even family, is that they like to listen to you. They like to talk to you. And they like to listen to you. And this is a big thing with you, because I think you've had a lot of problems, a lot of stress, a lot of unhappiness with people who weren't listening to you, wanting to feel recognized, wanting to feel listened. And I think this is what this person really does. And that's the way you feel about them anyway. So I think this has the potential to really build into something very, very special eventually. You know, because you have this card and you have the Ten of Cups as well. I want to emphasize the word eventually, because you still have a lot of healing to do. You know, the caduceus in between these two cups can symbolize healing, and you are healing. And you're healing from this ex and all of these things. But because there's this thing that still hasn't been resolved yet between you, there's some hurdle that needs to be jumped over. And so because that's still there kind of hanging in the air, you haven't had the opportunity to actually heal properly yet. You're in the process, but I think until this thing's resolved, whatever this is, you're not going to be able to heal 100% yet. So there's still that thing that's kind of not quite finished. It might be dragging on a bit. It's not going to drag on forever. You are going to get a resolution to this. But, you know, that it's still dragging on at this time, I think. So, you know, just hang in there if this is all resonating. You are going to get there. The last card you have for your present is the Tower. Yeah, so, okay. I'll tell you what I'm seeing. This is what I'm seeing in this card. There's a lot of pretense around this ex, a lot of pretending that everything's great. That's what I was seeing in the Five of Pentacles. And they're happy and they're laughing. And, you know, again, you're probably seeing this all playing out on social media. It's like they think they're the king or the queen of life and they have it all worked out and everything's wonderful. But you know what? I'm seeing this happening again and again in this readings. I always see this in your readings. They're going to be forced to change. They're going to be forced to do something that they're not doing right now. Something they're supposed to be doing, but they're not actually doing it. And maybe this is what you've been trying to talk to them about, but they won't listen to you. This crown, look at this card, this crown's falling down. Their crown is about to come down. Now, I don't mean that in a cruel way. It's not that something terrible is going to happen to them. I'm not seeing that. What I'm seeing is they're going to have to face some responsibilities that they're not facing right now. And this is normal. They're not going to like this, but this is normal to anyone else. You know, anyone in life, you, me, everyone, we all have responsibilities, and they're not facing their responsibilities, and that's what they're going to have to face. That's what happens when their crown comes falling down. Now, it's not going to feel easy to them. It's going to feel really hard for them. But these are normal responsibilities for everyone else. But yeah, for them, it's going to feel like a really rude awakening. So to you and I and everyone else in the world, it's not this horrible, hard thing. But to them, it's going to feel like that because they're really not a very responsible person. They're going around laughing, smiling, having a party or whatever. And they're not having a normal experience that everyone else is having. You know, we all have to do our responsibilities, you know, pay our bills, do what we need to do, whatever. And there's a lot that this person's not doing that they should be doing, and they're going to be forced to do those things. That's what I'm seeing in that card. And I know that's repetitive. I know you've had that message in some other readings, but I'm seeing it again here, and I keep on seeing this for you. And I probably will keep on seeing this until this situation's resolved. I'm sorry about that. I just keep on seeing that. So the first card you have for your future is the King of Swords. So yeah, I think what's going to happen is you'll probably just try to have as little contact as you possibly can with them. Because I think this erratic behavior, the lack of communication, the kind of jumping in and out and all of that kind of thing, I think it's really impacting on you. It's impacting on you emotionally, it's impacting on you mentally, and it's stopping you from moving forward and healing and living the rest of your life properly. It's the only thing that's really annoying you in your life right now. I think other things are actually fine. It's just this really annoying thing that keeps on hanging around. You know, this king's all about clarity, about cutting through any rubbish that isn't necessary. So I think this is the time where you'll totally leave this in someone else's hands maybe, or you'll try to, or as much as you possibly can. And if you do this, I think this is going to be the best thing for you. It's going to remove a lot of stress for you, and getting rid of that stress is really going to give you back a lot of your freedom. There's a lot of freedom in this card. There are birds in the sky. There's a butterfly above this king's head. You know, obviously this all represents freedom. So having this inner freedom, this is going to bring you a lot closer to this person, who you're in a relationship with, or, you know, if it's a love connection, it might not be a relationship, but it's some kind of love connection that's happening slowly. That's what I'm seeing in the Two of Cups. But whoever this is, I think this is going to bring you closer to them as well. So, yeah, the next card you have for your future is the Page of Pentacles. Yeah. Okay, this is really, really beautiful. This is how this person in this relationship or this love connection, this is how they see you. They look up to you. They're really attentive. Again, they listen to you. That's what I'm seeing here. They understand you. They connect with you in a really special way. This is a very special person. Hold on to this person. Look at the way this page is looking up to this coin. It looks as if the coin's saying something fascinating, and he's staring and really listening and really watching. And, you know, this is a very precious, beautiful coin to this page. You know, he's holding it very delicately. He thinks it's very precious, very special. So they think you're precious. They think you're special. This is absolutely beautiful. I think they're also a little bit unsure of how you feel about them. Not a lot, just a little bit. And I think this might be because of all this stress that's happening around you with this ex or whatever this situation is. But, you know, it's gradually going to fall away. And I think the message here is that, you need to reassure them a bit if they are feeling like that. Just tell them you care about them. Just tell them, you know, you love them and that you're there for them if that's what you want to do. I think they just need a little bit of reassurance because they do adore you and they deserve that. They really do. If what I'm seeing here is you know, is resonating with you, they deserve more than that. They really deserve, you know, everything from you. This is the person who listens to you. This is the person who wants to know you. You didn't have that with this ex. You haven't had that with many other people. You're having it with them. That's what I'm seeing here. The last card you have for your future is the Five of Cups. You know, I don't want this reading to sound like I'm saying, oh, this is so wonderful for you and it's horrible for this ex, ha ha ha. That's not what I'm trying to say. You might feel like that, but that's not what I'm seeing here. Yes, this is going to be a shock to them. When this tower comes down, their crown falls down, this is going to be a shock to them. But not because something horrible is going to happen to them. It's just because they're going to have to face up to things. They're going to have to face up to reality. It's the reality that everyone else in the world has to face up to. And, you know, it's time for them. It's time for them to face up to them. Now, it's not that bad, but it is going to feel like that to them. You know, it's going to feel like the Tower and the Five of Cups to them. But, you know, again, this is just what they should be facing. There's no great big terrible revenge or anything horrible happening here. This is what's best for everyone. That it's what's best for them too. They're going to mature. It's going to be good for them. And, you know, it's going to be good for everyone. It's going to be the right thing for everyone. Again, this is dragging on. I know it's taking its time. And until this all happens, until the Tower falls, until the crown comes down, I'm probably going to be seeing that this is going to happen sometime in your readings. So I'm sorry if this is a bit repetitive, but yeah, again, this is what I'm seeing. So it's definitely going to happen at some time. But until then, I think the big message here is to kind of minimize as much contact as you can with this ex, and that's going to help you to move forward with this new person. So Gemini, I hope this resonated, but again, general readings can't always resonate with everyone. But if you like this reading, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you'd like to. Thank you so much for watching.